So my name is Terrence Richard Blackman, and I gave a talk tonight on African-American mathematicians, broadly about mathematics education, and the African-American community, and the strong thrust of the African-American community historically for excellence in mathematics. We have not effectively sought out the paths. We have not made the paths evident to our young people. I think what we really ought to be doing now is thinking about how we construct roads from where we are to where our young people need to go. So it's not that our young people are not smart. That it's not because African American youngsters are not smart that they're not represented in at higher numbers in some STEM fields. It's more a question of the pathways to STEM not being as evident and as well developed in places where we have a large number of African American youngsters. The real challenge, as I see it, is preparation in our community. How do we prepare effectively for higher education? And I think that we need to do a better job. We need to do a better job in our middle schools. We need to do a better job in our high schools, and we need to do a better job in managing the transition of our young people from high schools to colleges. The answer is yes. Tertiary education institutions are, they're higher education institutions, and so one would expect that there's not much in terms of developmental work. So work that ought to have properly been done in high school. In some institutions, they're not going to do that because that is not the focus. So if our young men and women are going to take advantage of those institutions, they need to be better prepared. And I think that that's something that we ought to take on as a challenge for our community. So yes, I understand. I understand that the lack of preparation is something that is something that will plague our community and will kind of work to undermine some of the aspirations of some of our young people. I do believe very, very strongly that excellence is a function of diversity. And I think the disciplines, particularly the scientific disciplines, lose something when they are not diverse. And so I think this is something that disciplinary associations really need to think very deeply about, how to make these disciplines accessible to a broader cast of individuals. You're absolutely right. There is no way that the discipline of chemistry can be the best it can possibly be without the participation of African Americans, without the participation of Hispanics, without the participation of a vast spectrum of individuals from different ethnicities and different walks of life. It is absolutely clear that excellence in anything it requires diversity. It requires diversity of individual, requires diversity of thought. And maybe if you ask about, the diversity of thought requires diversity of individuals. And so I think it's something that we really have to work on in chemistry, in physics, in mathematics, across the board, in economics. If these disciplines are really going to continue to create new knowledge that will move us forward, we need to find ways to bring into those disciplines people from varied backgrounds. We really do. Yeah, I think if you have a wider participation of African Americans in chemistry and in mathematics, I think these things just become enriched in ways that are even too, enriched in ways that one cannot fully imagine at this moment. I think that would be a golden age to see the full participation of African American talent in mathematics and in physics and in chemistry. Yes, that would be a golden age, and it would be something, and it is something that I'm working really hard to see. You have to make clear to young African American boys and girls in particular that they are mathematicians too, that they're physicists too, that they are chemists too, that there have been chemists of great repute who are African Americans, that there have been physicians of great repute who are African Americans. So I think that's the first place. One has to make very clear to our young boys and girls that these aspirations are normal aspirations. That being a mathematician and being an African American is not mutually exclusive. These are things that are quite normal. And I think to the extent that we do that, then we've set the stage. But then more importantly, I think having set the stage, we have to set the path. As your earlier question to preparation for college. Well, in order to be a part of a collegiate environment, there are certain things that one has to be able to do, and those things require some learning, and we need to help to facilitate that learning as parents, and so we need to take that very seriously. Mathematics has been with human beings for as long as there have been human beings. So one can go back at the beginning of time as societies have emerged, mathematics as a way of thinking and organizing those societies has been a part of it. So the ancient Egyptians did mathematics, the Babylonians did mathematics, the ancient Indians did mathematics, the Arabs did mathematics. In some sense, mathematics has come from the east to the west. Mathematics has come from the Egyptians by way of the Egyptians, the Persians, the Babylonians. It has come to the west by way of the Arabs and the Indians. And it has moved to, in some sense, what we see today in the West, the mathematics that we're a part of, is part of a long stream that has come down to us over many, many, many years. So, this is not something that has started today. It's been here as long as there have been human beings. People have been doing mathematics and been doing things abstractly. We have perhaps lost a connection to the history, lost a connection to those places of those touch points of excellence. So I think it's more that some connections have been severed, and we are now kind of rediscovering these things. It's not that we can't do it. We don't remember how well we've done it in the past, and I think that's what's happening here. I want to say what's up to my mom and my dad. Yes, my parents. My mom had surgery for cataracts yesterday, and so I just want to say hello to her and hope that she's kind of recovering fairly well, and to my father, who is someone who's always there supporting me and supporting my mother, and then perhaps I should say what's up to my children who are doing something, I hope, positive and contributing in some way to the development of our community.